Have you ever wondered what makes Casio watches so popular? Looking on the internet, looking on YouTube, you can see all kinds of celebrities wearing these watches. What is it about Casio that makes them so damn popular? Well, today we're going to find out and see if we can figure that out. Let's go! Okay, we get it. Oh my God. I feel like I just walked out of a Swatch ad from the 1980s. I don't ever want to think about that again. Hold on for just a second, okay? Hold on. Oh, that is so much better. I really can only wear one watch at a time. I don't know how people wear two. I don't get it. Anyway, so let's get back to the why are Casio watches so popular. So I've broken it down into 4 categories. There's affordability, there's ingenuity, there's durability, and then of course there's nostalgia. So let's start at the top and let's look at affordability. But before I begin, I just kind of want to mention I'm specifically talking about Casio watches themselves, to some extent, maybe some entry-level G-Shocks, because you can get those really affordably as well. But I'm certainly not going into the Edifice or the Oceanus line. So going back, let's start with affordability. So what is it that makes Casio watches so affordable? Well, if you just kind of do a quick web search, you're going to find you can pick up an F91W for about 17 bucks, or you can get an AE 1200 for around 20. So you can see that the value is there, the affordability is there. But how did we get there? How did Casio get to the point where they can make these things affordable? Sure, you can say mass production, that's fine. But I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. So we're going to start by looking at the founder of the company, Tadao Casio. So when he started this company, he always took into account the other party. So it had to benefit both parties in order for this to be prosperous for everybody. That's always been kind of his mindset. Let's make sure that everybody comes out a winner, essentially. And to kind of back this story up, in the early days of the Casio Corporation, they were manufacturing other things before watches, as you all know. But they received this order where they were to take a bunch of steel and turn them into these metal spheres. Well, Tadao, using his experience with manufacturing and processing, he developed a way where he could increase the output from 50 of these metal spheres a day to 200 a day. So seeing this, he realized he was going to be making a whole lot of money. Yeah, right? But instead of doing that, what he did is he passed the discount along to the customer. His saying was, I would be making too much money. So you can see already the mindset in Casio and how they operate there. They want to make sure these watches are affordable for every single person that is out there. So that's kind of how I think the affordability part of this comes into play. So next, let's take a look at ingenuity. So, ingenuity. So how does that come into play with Casio watches? Well, this is where Tadao's brother Toshio comes in. Because you see, Toshio he's the inventor of the family. He's the tinkerer. He's the guy who's got a lot of different ideas. So we're in 1970 right now, okay? Casio Corporation is developing typewriters, they're developing calculators, they're developing, the 10 keys, all that kind of stuff. Basically office supplies and things like that. Anyway, so the year now is 1974 and it is November. Casio is now going to enter into the watch market, and they do it with the Casiotron. Now, what makes the Casiotron so unique? Why is it different? Well, this watch is able to add in an automatic calendar. This calendar can adjust for longer and shorter months, on top of which it is able to figure out leap years and adjust itself. Now, this is an incredible feat for 1974 because up until this point, you had to manually adjust your calendar. But Casio, using its experience with calculators and 10 keys and typewriters and other stuff, they called it the LSH technology that they had developed. They used that technology to put into this watch that would give it the ability to make these adjustments. This is revolutionary at this point in 1974. So you can see this is a big deal. But not being one to rest and just kind of take that as the success, 2 years later in 1976, they released the Casiotron X1. Now, on top of delivering all of the features that you are getting with the Casiotron, now they've added in a stopwatch, a counter, world time, and a dual time display. This is the first watch that can deliver 5 functions all at the same time. This is absolutely unheard of in the watch world. This is crazy. So you can see, even now, today, your watch has all of those features that were developed in 1976. So you can actually go back and thank Casio and Toshio for developing this technology and putting it into your watch that you are wearing today. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the durability aspect of these Casio watches. Okay, so let's look at the durability of Casio watches. Now, it's not going to take much for you to get on the web and look up tons of videos about how Casio watches are durable beyond what they're rated for. I mean, that's not a hard thing to do. Let's not forget, of course, G-Shocks, which, those came out in 1983, and those revolutionized all kinds of stuff as well. But that is basically a whole other video. But you can see that Casio watches are typically over-engineered and overbuilt for durability. There's so many stories of people saying, I had an F91W. Yeah, the thing's only rated for 30 meters, but the guy took it to 100 or even 200 meters. So the durability for these watches is there, and it is just never going to go away. That's really all I got to say about the durability. So now let's go on to nostalgia and finish this up. I was 6th grade. This is about 1980 for me. That was my first exposure to a Casio watch. It was the C80. Now, I don't know if you know much about the C80, but that was the first calculator watch. That was incredible. That blew my mind. I'm telling you, you could sit in math class and you could, type on it and get it. It did basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and I think it even did percentages. That's insane. In fact, in math class, they had to outlaw him. They basically banned him and said, you can't wear that watch in class because it's, you're cheating. You get a calculator. But, people managed to find their way to get those in class anyway. The other thing that came out at this time, and this was absolutely mind-blowing to me, and that was the Game 10, the Casio Game 10. I don't know if many of you remember that, but that was a watch that played Space Invaders. That thing was absolutely incredible. I loved it. In fact, I think I traded some kid I think I traded him a couple of Hot Wheel cars and some other stuff. And I got this Casio Game 10 watch from him. I was just blown away. I was playing that thing constantly, all the time. I don't remember what happened to that watch. I think some kid stole it from me. Jeez. What a ripoff. Anyway, so that's kind of my experience. So you see, Casio enters the market at a really key time for people like us in our age group and in our age range. And some of you may remember the F91W as your first exposure to Casio. And I think that watch was released in 1989. But you start understanding the nostalgic aspect of it. It comes at a time when you are just going to remember that so well and so much, and just it's almost like it's a life-changing experience. So that's kind of how I feel about the nostalgic version of what Casio is to me. And I would encourage anybody, leave a comment below and let me know your experience with Casio, with the nostalgic aspect of it, or any aspect of it, really. So there you have it, guys. That's what I'm thinking makes Casio watches so popular. It's not nostalgia. It's not being ingenious. It's not being durable. It's not being affordable. It's all of them. It's every single piece of this goes to create an amazing watch, an icon watch. Iconic. I'm just going to say it. It's an iconic watch. Watch connoisseurs, real big watch snobs will see you wearing a Casio. And they will give respect. Why? Because Casios are the watch of the people. Everybody can get one of these things, and everybody can enjoy them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do encourage you all to leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts about Casio watches and their popularity. And while you're there, be sure to leave me a like and subscribe for more content like this. And if you're still looking for more content on Casios, why don't you check these guys out right here? I think they'll take care of what you're looking for.